Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
You're knowing what you're wanting?
Yes.
An evolving thing, yes. An expanding thing. That's good, isn't it? Isn't it good that life continues to give you new ideas about what you would now like to experience from where you are? Or would you like to reach the place where you say, been there, done that, about everything? So we say, you are appreciating your expanding desire, and you say, no, it's done. When we put it that way, can you get a glimpse of the feeling of fresh, unrestricted desire? Do you remember that? Do you remember wanting something, just softly wanting something that was not currently in your experience, with no doubt or negative expectation that killed it at birth? Do you remember that feeling? Do you remember that feeling of wanting in expectation of receiving? Breathe that in. That's the freshness of life. That's what you felt when you made the decision to come into this body to begin with. It never occurred to you that this leading edge time-space reality would inspire a leading edge creator like you to want something that could not be achieved. It just wasn't part of the equation at all. You knew that the variety would inspire you, and that as you stood in your specific experience and came to your specific important conclusions of what you prefer, that the desire would vibrate and that source would literally become it, and that you could become it too. Did you hear the strange way we said that? We want you to realize that you are an extension of source energy, and that the source energy part of you is here with you now. And that the source energy part of you, the eternal part of you, that continuum that is you, knew when you came forth into this body that you would be inspired to further expansion. And from that vantage point, you understand that you never cease to be, and that you are eternally non-physical energy that focuses into physicalness, because physicalness is the leading edge of non-physicalness. Do you get that? You're not here deficient, trying to catch up with what is non-physical. You are taking non-physical into precision and specifics that non-physical would not be without your perspective, without your vantage point. It's interesting because you were non-physical before you were in this physical body, but now you are in this physical body, you are physical and non-physical, because you are the leading edge of what is non-physical. And in your physical awareness, you have two vibrational vantage points. There's the vantage point of your source, which is the non-physical part of you, and there is the physical part of you. That makes sense to you? And your emotions are telling you how those two vantage points are playing off of one another. So you said, from your non-physical vantage point, I want to present myself in a physical environment because I know the physical environment will give me new ideas of that which I am wanting to experience. And so the non-physical you comes into the physical you, and the physical you bangs around in the contrast and comes to new preferences. When you don't have enough of something, you want more of it, and as you want more of it, even if you don't put it into words, you extend beyond that which you were before you had the contrasting experience. It's like a rocket of desire shoots out of you. When you're rude, you want to be nice. When someone else is rude, you want them to be nice. When you're sick, you want to be well. When you don't have enough money, you want more money. When you are confused, you want clarity, and on and on and on it goes. All day, every day, you and every other physical consciousness giving birth to new desires. But what most humans seem to have forgotten is that once you give birth to a new whatever it is, preference or desire about anything, the non-physical source energy part of you, who is so aware of the precision of your life experience and of the exactness of your ability to choose what you prefer, even if you are a one-celled organism, the source energy part of you immediately becomes the vibrational equivalent of what you've asked for. Can you feel the cycle of that? So you were non-physical, now you're physical, now you're giving birth, and non-physical becomes that which you gave birth to. And so your experience caused you to have an expanded desire, which the non-physical part of you immediately became. Now, we want you to make peace with that idea because thought always precedes manifestation. So what we just said was, you saw something that you don't have yet and you wanted it, and Source said yes to it and became it non-physically. And if you will go right along with the idea of it, you will become it physically. In other words, the non-physical has preceded you in the completion of the idea. We've written a book. We think it is the best title of any book that has ever been written. We think it is the best book that has ever been written. Most comprehensive. If you read it, it will tell you everything that you need to know about life. And it is called Ask and It Is Given. And the reason that we like the title so much is because in that title, it tells you the entire story we just told you. Ask and it is given, which means, so your non-physical energy, you come into a physical body, life in your physical body causes you to ask for more, and Source immediately becomes it. So a better title for the book even than Ask Than It Is Given, but they turned us down because it was way too long, is, so I'm non-physical, I come into a physical body, my experience causes me to want more, I give birth to yet a new desire, as I give birth to yet a new desire, the non-physical part of me doesn't only give me what I've asked for, but literally becomes the vibrational equivalent of what I've asked for. Too long? But when you understand that that's what's happening, then you understand that there are two vibrational vantage points that are playing off of one another, which is the reason that you have the emotions that you do. In other words, when life causes you to ask for something and Source becomes it, and you expect it fully, so you turn in the direction of it and move in the direction of it, the moving in the direction of that which you are becoming feels wonderful to you. But when your life causes you to ask for something and the non-physical part of you becomes it and you focus in opposition of it, so you are going against the flow of that which you have become, you feel the negative emotion which gives you the indication that you are going in opposing directions. So when you go with the flow of that which you have asked for, you are allowing the fullness of who you are. When you go against the flow of that which you have asked for, you disallow it or you resist it. Nice to know, isn't it? So, we call this gathering the art of allowing, because it is really about learning how to go with the flow of that which your life has caused you to become, not with the flow of that which someone outside of you is dictating to you. Oh, almost everybody you know has ideas of the way you should behave to please them. But the reason they have ideas of the way you should behave to please them is because they're still trying to control conditions. When they look at a condition that makes them feel good, they say, oh, more of that, please. And when they look at a condition which may even include something you are doing, which doesn't please them, and they feel negative emotion, they say, somebody needs to do something about changing this condition so that I can feel better, because I feel so much better when I feel better. I'm sure you should be standing on your head to please me, because when I'm pleased, I'm pleased. And when I'm not pleased, I'm not pleased. So please please me, they say. Which wouldn't be so bad, and isn't so bad when it's just your mother. But when it's your mother and your father and they want different things, or when it becomes those that you go to school with, or those that are your peers, or those that you are employed by, or those who run your country, or those who are at the head of a particular political party, or those who are embodied in a particular religion, when that peanut gallery out there becomes a chorus that is asking from you all kinds of different things, when you're listening to that one and that one and that one, and oh, don't misunderstand us. We know they are all well-meaning. They are just misguided. We want you to get to the place where you never are in the situation where you're having a hard time figuring out what to do because you've practiced listening. You've tuned yourself into the guidance that is coming forth from within you so precisely that you never again have to wonder. You can just stare blankly into the faces of all those who are mouthing instructions at you and smile at them lovingly as you convey with your thoughts, I hear your words, but they mean nothing to me. They mean nothing to me because you have no way of knowing who I was in non-physical as I projected myself here. You have no way of knowing what life has caused me to put into my vibrational escrow. You have no way of knowing the sources over there, the full embodiment of that which I am, calling me with a very powerful signal. And you have no idea of knowing that I've been practicing every day of my life, especially recently, listening to the call of source. And you have no idea that I'm on track with a signal and a beam that is undeniably the best path for me to follow, and your opinion no longer counts. Because I'm tuned in, tapped in, turned on. I know what the call of source feels like. And the call of source, they will say, what does it feel like? Does it feel like joy? Does it sound like harps and angels? What does the call of source feel like? And what you will always say to them is, I cannot give it a defining word like joy or love or passion. Because the call of source sounds different to me depending upon where I am on my emotional scale. If something has me upside down from who I am and I am feeling despair or discouragement or fear or even anger, the call of source does not sound like appreciation and love and harps and angels. But what it always does sound and feel like is relief.